Hey, hello everybody. How's everyone doing in this on Sunday, um, Sunday evening, Sunday, yeah, nine something, in Singapore, Malaysia, but in Norway it's about 4:40. Yes, in the afternoon, and it's been raining, raining, raining. It's autumn right now, so it's really, really gloomy, dark, gloomy, and wet all over around Norway right now. And I know I must say that I am fortunate. I do enjoy the seasons, but if there's a season that I don't like, that I don't enjoy, that's autumn. People might think, oh my God, is it winter? No, actually, I love winter. I like the snow. But autumn is when I really, really struggle because it's dark and it's wet. And yes, it gets colder, but it's more of the darkness. And then when it comes to snow, then everything becomes brighter, right? Because of the snow, it reflects light. So that's nice. But I'm autumn actually reminds me a lot of the months or the years previously there where I really, really struggled because it's very gloomy, so it affects your mood. And I'm not the only one. A lot of people struggle during autumn. Those people who go hunting, they're like, "Yay, autumn!" Because that's when it's hunting season in Norway. It's a different feeling. A lot of people love autumn because of everything becomes yellow and orange outside. The plants and the leaves turn color and it's really pretty. But a lot of people struggle um, in Europe during autumn and even in winter. In winter, of course, it's really cold. You're not out so much, so people are very much indoors, and a lot of people go through depression during winter and probably in autumn too. A lot of people who are affected in terms of weather and they are more sensitive to and it affects their psyche. So this is when autumn it becomes a very tough time for a lot of people. And I must say that I can't help but remember, and it kind of came to me today. So I wanted to reach out, and I wanted to reach out to people who might also be feeling this way. I couldn't help but become reminded of the time when I was really struggling, and winter was sorry, autumn was when I am affected the most. I usually come out and speak to fellow entrepreneurs, right? My live sessions are more to add value. I come in being conscious of how I can add value to my fellow entrepreneurs. But this time around, I am reaching out to those who are not entrepreneurs, who are probably not entrepreneurs, not employees, people who are probably searching. And there I was. So today I was really reminded of those moments. Oof, and I'm really feeling it, goodness. So yes, I could remember. I still remember like as if it was yesterday. You know how tough it was when I was searching, right? How I was searching for this new identity that I'm supposed to embrace probably in Norway, and it hasn't come. It took a long time for this identity to come, and I was searching either for a job at first, right? So um, the first thing I did when I came to Norway was that, oh, okay, I'm gonna look for a job. Um, Never did I think that I was gonna become an entrepreneur. So God, the universe, the higher power, um, He has a different plan for me. But I came here thinking that I would apply for a job, very confident because I have over 10 to 11 years of work experience, and not just general work experience, but I have worked my way up to management level. I have done strategic planning. I have worked with community leaders at higher levels. I have facilitated discussions with community leaders, members of management. I have also worked with or worked for members of parliament, and written speeches for CEOs. So I really thought that, well, I should get a job. It's not a problem. But so wow, that was a shocker, a real bruise to my ego, that all of my qualifications, all of my work experience um had no value. Yeah, just put it up bluntly, it had zero value for me in getting a job here. So 2009, I came here. It was winter, and 2009 November, I was so fortunate to get a place to learn Norwegian, because I thought the faster I get in, the faster I get on and learn how to adapt to this country, and how I could eventually just get a job, right? Even though I had finished not the highest level, the second highest level um, in Norwegian. It turned out that no, it didn't. It didn't work. That didn't allow me to penetrate into the job, any job sector. Of course, you can get any kind of job, and I did like small jobs too. I was in the kindergarten for a while. I mean, yeah, it's not like kindergarten teachers probably in Singapore, in Asia. Kindergarten teachers, we clear the trash, we clear the kitchen, we change nappies. So I did the dirt. Okay, so I'm coming here. I want to come in and just to share that I'm not here coming from a point of view that, oh, okay, I tried a job, I didn't get it, and I just hopped over to business, and oh, okay, now I'm 6 years an entrepreneur, and I managed to pivot during COVID and blah blah blah. No, I want to come in and to say that I've done the work. I've done the well, shall I say, yeah, I I did the dirty work. Yeah, I did all of that. And yeah, we cleared the trash. And maybe this is something that I have not shared before, but for a short period of time, I actually did clean areas in the hospital. This is the first time I'm sharing this. I did all of that because, well, I mean, I thought I could learn the language as I did that. Yes, I went to the hospital and I cleaned the beds. I did all of that. So, um, and along the way, I think I lost my own confidence. It becomes worse and worse and worse. And I wanna reach out to all foreigners who have had the trouble to try to adapt to a foreign country. And I feel very sad whenever I think about um, people who come from other countries, coming with high qualifications, very very much relevant experience, high level managerial experience, and then when they come here, there's nothing for them, and they had to do continue and just stay in those jobs, right? Either you work as cashiers in the supermarkets. I mean, don't get me wrong, okay? We all do what we need to do. All right. So if you're gonna judge me for saying this, go ahead. Because I'm coming from a point of view that I have done that. I've done the work. I've gone into that, and I realized that those kind of jobs did not help me to get up. It made me go down, down, down. In fact, I pretty much lost myself. I lost my confidence, and that make it very tough for me to come back. And I was also I could not get a job. I applied for 300 positions, and 300 positions for about a couple of years, and I had a couple of interviews, but I still did not get anything. And after that, I realized that okay, this is it. I I'm not going to apply anymore because I'm just losing myself more and more and more. So I cannot continue be doing this. So that's when I started to come back, and I realized that what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Um, this week I have done one interview, um, and one of the questions that was asked, and it's not the first time I've been asked, and the question was, how do you bounce back? How do you come back? How do you gain that strength to come back? And I want to share that with you here today. Okay. Yes, I use the word depression, and some of my friends who are in the counseling industry, or they may say that, oh, you cannot use the word depression, it's a clinical word, and you cannot use the word if, let's say, is it for prolonged periods of time. So I would say it was for, yeah, I believe it was almost a year. And I remember those days when I would wake up, and in the morning, the kids, the boys will go to school, and the husband will go to work, and I would sleep the whole day, and then they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back at around what time? Come back at around 3, and maybe 2:30 or 2 o'clock. That's when I get up, because I had nothing to pursue. Right? I've lost myself. I really had nothing to look forward to, because I didn't feel like I was contributing in any way. I could not use my talents. I could not use my skills, my brain. I felt like I was losing my memory more and more and more. So that became worse and worse and worse. And then I basically just slept the whole time because I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. Um, and the proof of that was that when I was pursuing my driving license, yeah. So my mom would say, why why is it so difficult for you to get this license? Like, you did your bachelor's, you did your master's, you did when you came to Norway, you did the Norwegian class 2 rounds of it, but then the driving, like, you can't seem to get over it, and it took years. People take, well, I've never driven before in Singapore. Yeah, so here you have to learn how to drive on slippery roads, driving in the dark. Still, there's no excuse. My mom said, what's so difficult? And that's when it hit me. It hit me that my self-identity was bruised. I was not myself. I lost that confidence that I had of myself, that belief that I had myself. So rejection after rejection after rejection, that chips away on my confidence. And oh my goodness. It's strange when the environment, I mean, it's true, it's proven. And when it happens to you, you can't help but realize, yeah, it's really, really true. It's not just a theory. That your environment can really, really change your self-perception, can change your self-identity. Your environment has a power to do that. And it's almost like I believe those people, all those people who refused to invite me for an interview. I almost believe them that you're of no value, actually. You're not that good. So that's why I struggled when I was doing my driving license. Oh my God, I would come back feeling really crappy. My driving, the driving teacher will get so panicky because I could not focus, and things like it became worse and worse and worse. Oh boy. So how did I come back? What made me come back? Firstly, on a more practical point of view, I want to start with that. Instead of letting yourself drown and just taking any job out there, just whatever job, like I did. I mean, sure, do what you need to do. We all need to survive. But tell yourself that this is not a permanent position. I feel really sad. I feel very saddened every time when I meet someone and they said, I've been doing this, and this is the job I've been working at the, I'm not gonna name any jobs, okay? When I know that this person used to hold, a high level position, and now is holding a different position now, and this is a job that they're doing, and they're not able to live their fullest potential. Like, you're supposed to contribute at a higher level, penetrating and giving all out to a lot more people, serving a lot more people the way you want to do. And that saddens me. And to me, it's a loss of potential. That's a human potential that we lost in order to make things better for a lot of people, that we could be changing lives out there, with what that we've learned, with all that we've known, right? So I'm very saddened by that. I'm very affected by that. And, as you can see, autumn affects me. I'm very, very much affected by it. So I want to come on here to share why and how did I come back. How did I bounce back? How did I let that go? Number one, I started to look at my strength and my weaknesses, all right? And look at also more closely at your strengths. What can you contribute? What can you do for free? Do it for free first. And then you gain testimonials, and then you gain faith and the trust in people, and then you can move on. So what I did was, I know I'm very good in writing. I love writing. So I decided to contribute my services to do up a newsletter for Professional Women's Network, PWN. It's a women's network in Oslo. It's an international network. And they have a branch in Oslo. So I signed up for that. They call it the VP. They have the president and then the vice president. So we would basically offer our services to run different areas. So some people will be a VP or board member, they call it, board member of events, board member of accounts, or board member of marketing. Okay, so what I've done was to offer my services in marketing. So, and as part of marketing, you are supposed to do up the newsletter. So I said, yay, newsletter. So then I get to write every month. So that was my commitment to contribute to a newsletter every single month for a whole year. But I realized that, and here's the catch, that, oh boy, when this newsletter means that it's, on the website, and then I was also supposed to do the Facebook. Goodness gracious, I have no clue what is social media marketing. So I jumped right in. But that was a huge opportunity for me to learn social media marketing. So I had to learn, because I used to write policy papers. We write trend analysis, we write focus group discussion reports, right? And papers that are substantiated by important information, right? And lots of graphs, lots and lots of statistics. And the tone when you write those papers is top down, right? Top down. But when it comes to social media, it's really much bottoms up. You can't write on the top with a top down kind of tone when you write to social media. No, it doesn't work. So I had to learn what is social media marketing, how to write on social media marketing. Oh boy, that was a huge learning curve for me. Huge learning curve for me. I will remember that every single day I would go on, I will watch all those free videos, right? Free videos for some days I will watch 3 to 4 free videos a whole day, every single day for many months, until I get the gist, like, okay, this is what it means to be writing on social media. So I ran their Facebook account. We boosted the number of members we had on that page. I boosted the number of members that we have, of course, with the whole team. We work together. But the newsletter was delivered every single month without fail. And because I love writing and I got the others to write as well, it was not just me. So I got other people to contribute. So we got a very good newsletter every month. And some people will tell me that, you know what, Sureti, I have not finished the last month, and then you come up with a new one. I mean, of course, it's not your fault, but but you are, on the ball, So that was the start for me. So when I joined that with the earnest intention to contribute. How can I contribute with what I do best? Start with that. If you can find that, what is it that you could? So when I joined PWN, that opened up the path for me into entrepreneurship, believe it or not. Um, I remember that fateful day. We were supposed to be, well, the network was supposed, we had a group, a delegation, group of entrepreneurs from Brazil. Oh my God, the warmest people ever. Shout out to my friends who were in Brazil, those people who I met. That meeting changed my life, changed my course of life forever. That day, I met someone who was gonna open up an incubator program. And then I realized that I checked up on him because he's going to speak. So I checked up about him and I said, oh, he's going to have this incubator program. I said, oh dear, the deadline is over. So I asked him, oh, I saw that and I really want to join, but the deadline is over. He said, you know what, just apply. I'll remember your name and we'll see how it goes. But I'll do my best to get you in. When I got into the incubator program, I met so many other foreigners who are starting their own business, and I had my first ever coach, Carrie Buren, wherever you are in the world, sending you lots and lots of love. So he is, because of Carrie Buren, I started because I was so bruised. Right? When I met him, the first question I asked him, so we were supposed to ask lots of questions. So, okay, so what's your first question for me today? And I know that he is a mindset coach. He trains, he coaches lots of leaders out there. So when he asked me, so what's your first question for me? And my first question was, how can I not fail again? I can't take it. I can't take another failure. If I'm going to go into entrepreneurship, if I'm going to start another business and it fails, that will be the death of me. I don't think I can take another failure. And he says, you know what? You need to be friends with failure. You cannot be scared of it. Failure is going to be your friend. If you want to be a business person, you want to be a businesswoman, you want to be a successful businesswoman, embrace failure. So my first assignment from him was to write a letter to failure. Dear failure, why do I fear you? And talk to failure. Start with that. Why do I fear you? And the more you write to Mr. Failure, the more you'll overcome that fear. So that was my first. That was a very very first assignment from Carrie. That's one. So my first recommendation to people out there who are searching, if you're on a crossroads, this webinar is probably, this live session is for you. If you're searching for your next course of action or next pathway, if you're lost, like me, if you are searching like me back then, this life is for you. So number one, look at your strengths and try to just contribute. You do what you need to do, okay, to survive financially, but don't lose yourself. Don't give it all out, on that job, because there's so much more that we can do. So look at your strengths, number one. Number two, don't take for granted whoever who comes along. Everybody who is successful, it's a village, right? It's a village that has contributed to that person. Likewise, I've had so many people who had come into my life who just to, maybe some of them will just be, we know one another for a couple of months or even for a short while, and then we just pathways. But every single person has a value to you. So don't take for granted the inspiration that people can give. My Scandi Planet logo, someone from the incubator program, he's a designer. So I showed it to him. He said, you should just do it like this. And all he did was one touch. I can't remember exactly it was, but I remember he did something. All he did was one touch. He said, oh yes, I remember, remove the shadow. And that's there forever without the shadow. And because of him, oh my God, like, the logo became so good and became so recognizable till this day. And I still have it, of course. That logo is forever now. And many thanks to him. I've lost contact with him, but, so that's like one help that he has given me. The other thing also, to put it the other way around, I'm constantly thinking about how can I help, right? So whoever I meet, let's say in networking sessions, I'm constantly thinking, as I'm talking to this person, either not everybody will open up to you the problems all at once, but it could be anything. So I'm constantly thinking as I'm talking to the person, I'm constantly, how can I help? How can I add value to this conversation? How can I add value to this person? Just recently, when was it? 2 weeks ago, I had one lady who produced a book, and I gave her an idea because it was a children's book, and I said, we no longer have this. It was very casual. I was just talking to the. We no longer have those reading sessions, this reading to children. We no longer have that. It's been a long time. I don't see people doing that. I said, why don't you start doing that? Get people to your house, or I don't know, your office. From then on, engage the parents, talk to the parents, what do they need, and then find a way to create interest in your book, because the book is it's an activity book for kids. And just a few days ago, she texted me and she said, just want to let you know that I've decided to start this reading program in my house. So I just want to let you know, thanks for the idea and nudging me to do that. So I think for me, how I bounced back was to make myself feel useful again, that I have so much to deal with, I have so much to contribute. So it's not just about taking in, it's also about giving, paying it forward. So that's how I found myself again. That's how I started believing myself again. That's how I reinstated my self-confidence that there's a lot in me that I could be contributing, rather than this person is down, 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 because you're not good in that, you're not good in this, you're not qualified in this, you're not qualified in that, your experience was not good, your qualifications, your masters, your bachelors has no value. So that helped me a lot, as I get so much from others, strangers whom I don't really know, and then started to become friends, or it could just be one meeting, networking meeting. So that's why, the networking session, people are so shy and so afraid and so skeptical these days, that you don't even want to talk to people. And when people say, come and talk to me, come and talk, and people say, no, I'm scared, I don't want to talk. And then I understand there's a lot of skepticism these days, but that's a helpline. There is a helpline. When people are saying, come and talk to me, let me see what I can help. We seem to have lost this trust in humanity, that people are good. Sometimes that people generally want to do good. People want to contribute. But if you don't trust people to help you, then how are you going to get the help? So it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. You want help, God gives you help. God gives you a helpline. But when God sends you to help me, he said, no, it's okay. No, no, I don't want to talk to you. Or it could be nowadays, I say it again and again, in terms of your IG feed, in terms of your Facebook. Of course, it's algorithm. I know that. But everything is determined by the higher power, God, the universe. I believe very strongly that. Why do you see a certain feed? Why do you see stumble upon a certain coach, for example, or a certain information? There's supposed to be a nugget that you're supposed to take. Or maybe you're supposed to work with that person, maybe not, I don't know. I talk to a number of coaches, right? And I take something from them each time. So I always believe that whichever coach I speak to, or whichever coach I listen to on the webinar, whether it's free or paid, I'm moving forward. So be open. So that's how I bounce back. Yeah, I become very open and trust that people just want to help me. They just want to help me because they just want to help me. And if I can help them back, yay, But not everybody is like, no, you have to give me something back. No, that's not it. There are people who give me context, right? Context of bus drivers, and I say, oh, I need bus drivers for my travel. Like, do you know? Yeah, I do. I know someone who knows. Why don't you call this person? It works. So don't be too skeptic. Think about how you can contribute and think about your strengths. Yeah, don't lose yourself. The other thing I want to mention was also to meditate, which is so important. I never meditated in Singapore. In Singapore, we are so much into the doing, like getting busy. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, you sleep, you get up, you do this, do that. But in Norway, I live in the countryside. It's very quiet. So as you can see, if I can just lift this just a little bit, yeah. So I live by the countryside. So there's a road in front of my house. Barely anyone drives through. Especially in winter, it's just quiet. Just so I get a lot of quiet moments. So those quiet moments are so very important. I would really recommend that you start meditating. Not everybody is into it. If you cannot, just be in the quiet. Switch off sounds. Just be in the quiet. When you are in the quiet, the direction becomes much clearer. The clarity as to what you need to do ahead comes up. It surfaces when you are in the quiet. So I discovered myself more and more as I did more and more meditation. That saved me. It's not just about the meditation, but indulge in meditations which has got also affirmations, or you can do separate affirmations. It doesn't matter what you do. One is to be in the quiet. Secondly, it's also the affirmations. The affirmations actually reinstated my belief in myself. I just want to leave you with one very important and very simple tool that I did that saved me. Remember, I told you about the driving license, which I was struggling to get. This is what I did. Bob Proctor's mirror exercise. I stumbled upon this tool and I practiced it. Every day when I look at the mirror, several times a day, right? You're going to go to the toilet, right? You look at the mirror. I tell myself, I have a driving license. Ooh, it still gives me goosebumps right now. And at that point of time, it was difficult. It was odd for me to say, I have a driving license. God, goodness. Every time I go for this lesson, I get hammered. I get yelled at. Yes. Oh my God, because he's panicking. We are about to go, almost going to crash. Because, I put him in danger. I don't blame him for panicking also, right? But that saved me. That turned things around because each time, so you say per I. So I tell myself, I have a driving license, and I go to the next one. I have a driving license. Say it a couple of times until it becomes a part of it. Initially, it felt very uncomfortable because I don't have a driving license. But eventually it became clearer and clearer and clearer for me. And you know what? Within a couple of months of me doing that, I got my license. I know it's a bit woo-woo. Some of us are not used to this woo-woo stuff, but be open to it. Okay, there's a lot of things that is energetically tuned in or determined energetically. So it's not just about strategies, ways, 1, 2, 3, but it's also about the belief, your psyche, your internal programming that I worked on myself. If I had not worked on myself, if I did not do the affirmations, I did not do the mirror techniques, if I did not do my meditations, I would not have bounced back. So if you want to know how I bounced it, why, or how I managed to do it, is the internal programming. I changed how I thought. And the other thing that was so important also was I stopped blaming. I stopped blaming those companies who did not want to hire me. I stopped blaming everybody else. Because initially it's like, oh, you were the reason this, blame the husband for bringing me to Norway that I had to go through this. But no, I mean, of course, I love him to death. But I stopped blaming, and I blamed myself. And I took responsibility. This is my responsibility. This is my life. This is my direction. All this has got to do with me. How I landed up like this is my own doing to myself. So if I don't take charge, if I don't take responsibility, who else is going to do it for you? So on the internal programming side, I'm going to repeat, I stopped blaming on others. I took full responsibility of my own trajectory, my own life. Number 2, being in the quiet, work on myself. affirmations, meditations, those are very, very important. Yes. And I think I've got it covered so far, people. Um, I'm I'm thinking of all those ladies and men who are searching, who are struggling right now, probably having to reinvent a new identity of themselves in a new country, perhaps just like how I was. If that is you, just text me, just PM me. I have my work schedule cut out for me in the next 3 months, October, November, December. However, September, I have time and I've decided that this is what I want to do in September. I want to reach out to all those who are struggling. Let me know. Just PM me and let's chat. Okay. I have bounced back because of people who were there for me, who made time for me, right? So I want to make time for you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I want to make time for you. So, because I believe that we all have big potentials, we all are capable of doing so much more. We need to drown out the bad with the good. And I want to be an instigator to that with the little that I know, with the little that I can. All right, people. I think, yeah, my husband's coming back soon. So this is my message from my heart to you. I became very inspired today, thinking about those autumn days that I went through in pain, drowning emotionally and mentally too. So I'm reaching out to all those out there who are on the crossroads. Even if, let's say, maybe you are not sure, you just been laid off and thinking, what's your next step? Let's get clarity, okay, in November, so that the next 3 months we are more on track. All right. So, like I said, I'm simply paying it forward. So many people had helped me along the way to get up again. So I want to reach out to you from the bottom of my heart and to see if how can you come out of this. There's a better. There's a silver lining to everything. I believe very strongly. Okay, so just PM me if you are in the same position. If you resonate with what I've just talked about, just PM me. Okay, Suryati Supani. There's only one Suryati Supani on Facebook, I believe. All right, looking forward to hear, and I hope you've get as much value from what I've shared. And if you know of someone who has gone through what I went through, who could use a helping hand, please forward this message and yeah, encourage them to PM me. I'll be more than happy to help. Mwah. Sending lots and lots of love in autumn. Bye. Now I need to find the end button. Bye.